Good morning and welcome. It's Wake Up Nigeria, and we have a host of things coming your way.
That's right. We're not done yet. Mike will be bringing us the movies that are showing at the cinemas this long weekend, so you know what to watch out for. And of course, if you want to get to the cinema.
You ever wanted something more, Barry? You should be serving your country.
Your CIA.
Yeah, and we also have someone who will be showing us the steps to making your own fascinator to suit your personality. Finally, Tayo Aluko will be joining us for what promises to be a very interesting conversation.
In a farm. I was there. I was just 6 years old.
After the news update with Blessing Idahosa.
Again, let's begin with the Eid al-Kabir celebrations as the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, has enjoined Muslims to use the period for total submission to the will of Allah. He says devotion to Allah must manifest itself in how Nigerians treat fellow citizens. The AP's leader added that the Salah celebration calls for peace, compassion, justice, tolerance, and adherence to principles and causes greater and nobler than our self-interest. He urged Muslims to also remember President Buhari so that the government will fulfill its mission by uplifting Nigeria as a nation unified in vision, direction, and purpose. At least 3,000 travelers have benefited from the first trip of the free train service of the Osun State government for the Eid al-Kabir celebration. The train arrived Osogbo, the state's capital, on Wednesday nights from Ido Rail Station in Lagos. And while some passengers boarded at Ogun State, others joined the train at Ibadan Station in Oyo State. Another set of passengers will also arrive Osogbo from Lagos on Thursday. The state's representative who received the passengers spoke about Governor Ralph Aregbesol's commitments to making life bearable and easy for the people. And away from that, residents of Makurdi are having a tough time as days of rainfall practically brought life to a halt there. A number of residents living in areas worst hit are stuck in their homes and are seeking emergency intervention. Scenes of what the residents are going through show many homes submerged and many residents having to wade through the stagnant water. A coalition of youth groups in northern Nigeria has gone tough against those who issued an ultimatum to Igbos to leave the region before October the 1st this year. The group, however, wants the leader of the independent people of Biafra to heed to court terms and stay off media frenzy. It's about a month to the said ultimatum, and movers of the Kaduna Declaration have suspended the ultimatum in the interest of peace. They say in the first place, an ultimatum was given because the actions of Nnamdi Kanu went unchecked. And addressing newsmen on Thursday in Kaduna, the coalition said there is no cause for alarm and that the Arewa people are peace-loving. And still on the calls for restructuring, Northern Nigeria's leading socio-political group, the Arewa Consultative Forum, says grievances across the country would best be addressed through dialogue and not by violent agitations, threats, and intimidation. The group wants governors in southeastern Nigeria to emulate their northern counterparts. They also want the governors to prevail on the agitators for the independent people of Biafra to respect the sovereignty of Nigeria. And that's all for now on the news updates. We now bring you the day's weather forecasts.
So it's real.
All right, it's time again for the sports update.
Okay, yeah, true.
And Mike is right here to talk about the match that everybody is afraid of.
You see, I don't know. Let's take a peek. Let's take a peek. Let's do something. Nigeria, Cameroon. You guys have to stand for something. Titi, you have to stand for something.
Why are you putting me on?
I stand for Nigeria. So.
Yeah. You have to. You don't have an option, Titi, do you?
No, we don't.
Okay, so we're all for Nigeria.
Yes.
Okay. All right. The coach. 2-0. Now that's something. Titi was bold there. Of course, the World Cup qualifying tie between Nigeria and Cameroon in Uyo is today. Our correspondent Promise Efoge reports that the build-up to the crunch tie has generated very little buzz in Uyo, the venue of the game. Fans have generally shown a little or no interest, and Promise believes that this may be as a result of Nigeria's loss to South Africa at the same venue some few weeks back.
As to that big game between Nigeria and Cameroon, a lot is at stake on this occasion because beyond national pride, both teams are chasing the single World Cup ticket available in Group B of the African qualifiers. The Godswill Akpabio Stadium here in Uyo, the beautiful capital of Akwa Ibom State, will host the match. Uyo has been the home ground for the Super Eagles, though some persons have argued this beautiful stadium facility is yet to become a fortress for the Nigerian team. The pitch is lush green. Caretakers here confirmed to me that a lot of work went into keeping the grass fresh and the edifice clean. Plenty of restriction to movement in and around the stadium. These officials say is for security reasons, as fans and admirers of the Eagles have not been allowed anywhere near the gates of the stadium until match day.
I believe that if we depend on Nigeria too much, they can disappoint us, just like the one that happened with South Africa.
With what I saw and with what they are playing in training, I believe Nigeria can win the indomitable Lions of Cameroon.
We are 6 points and the Camerooners have got 2 points, meaning we are 4 points ahead. Meaning if we get all maximum 3 points now, it will give us like 85% chance of being at the Mundial in 2018 in Russia.
But a few meters away, vendors have commenced business with sales of jerseys, vuvuzelas, whistles, caps and bandanas. But business have not been great for them because only very few seem excited about the forthcoming game.
I came purposely because to sell this jersey, Nigerian jersey, and to sell it to the people to make it lively for us to have to catch fun.
Cost of living in the city has risen in Uyo. Residents say the presence of the Super Eagles attract visitors from other parts of the country. Hence, demand for commodities, food and accommodation is on the rise. Though the build-up to this very important game has been greeted coldly by supporters here, the Super Eagles know that they have to win against Cameroon to restore some confidence. Promise Afoge, TVC News, Uyo.
All right, and then on to football transfer deadline day. Of course, it was yesterday or 12 midnight. And of course, Liverpool completed a £35 million signing of England midfielder before the transfer window ended. Of course, the 24-year-old had rejected a move to Chelsea on Tuesday, even after a fee had been agreed. He joins on a 5-year contract, which is worth £120,000 a week. He started 4 of Arsenal's games so far this season and scored a total of 20 goals in his 198 appearances since joining the Gunners from Southampton in 2011. And of course, the interest in Thomas Lemar, as you can see there, didn't come to fruition as Arsenal lost out on their target even after tabling a bid of £92 million. It was unable to sway the odds in their favour. Of course, the Gunners expected him to be a replacement for Alexis Sanchez, who didn't move to Man City at the end of it. And of course, Barcelona also showed some interest, but then it was still not forthcoming. Tottenham have completed the signing of PSG's Aurier for a fee in the region of £23 million. The Ivory Coast right-back has signed a 5-year contract until 2022. The deal was held up by work permits complications because Aurier received a suspended sentence for assaulting a police officer last year. He is Spurs' 4th signing of the summer. Okay, Yomi, now, you know, we are not the only people that have the last hour, rush hour mentality. It happens and it is mad.
It was amazing, some of the memes I was seeing about Arsenal on Twitter last night with people saying, Arsenal is just looking for anybody to sign.
Anybody just sign up.
You know what they said? They said, when you're going out on the street, be careful. Arsenal is looking for anybody to sign.
Wow.
But they made a £92 million bid. That is massive for an Arsenal. And they were unable to get their man and all of that. Oh. But then, you know, the thing now, there was this particular player, Ross Barkley, who had agreed terms with Chelsea. Yeah. And then he went for his medical and he passed the medical and just changed his mind.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, so that's what happens with the
under some kind of other pressures.
Exactly, family and all of that.
You know, weren't apparent, you know, before signing.
So since the window is closed now, we can have like other stories in sports. Like we've been talking about this transfer window for like ever. I'm tired.
For the past 1 month, yeah.
Okay, all right. Anyways, for us PSG aficionados and fans, we don't have any problem with that, right?
No, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't.
Okay, all right.
We're
Thank
good
you very
to
much.
go.
That's it for sports updates, and we have the papers next.
Thanks so much, Mike. We're going straight to the papers, and we're starting with The Guardian with the headline, "At Salah, government restricts movement in Northeast. Buhari urges stronger ties among Nigerians. Saraki predicts economic rebound. Dogara seeks unity. Don't let extremists destroy Islam. Atiku warns Muslims." And then Ijaw youths shut content board for not relocating IOC's offices. Bayelsa government, IYC condemn killing of soldiers. All that on the cover of The Guardian this morning.
Moving to the Vanguard quickly. Economy rallying out of recession, says CBN and Fitch reports. External reserves hit 30-month high at $31.8 billion. It's a big number, thankfully. We have Naira Watch here. Naira appreciates as CBN injects $297 million. The death toll of Nigerian pilgrims rises to 7, sadly, when it comes to Hajj 2017. You can read about that on page 4. The U.S. probes Chinese oil firm over $100 million bribe to Nigerians. That's one you can look out for on page 2. Task before New Lagos, CP Imohimi say here on page 6. You can find out loads more about that. And take a look at the shot of all those rams on standby for the slaughter.
Wow.
For this holiday.
All right, we're going straight to The Punch. And on the cover, it says, APC others fume as PDP says Buhari government destroyed EFCC. Disprove allegations of recovered loot. Ruling party tells PDP. Opposition party statement reckless, irresponsible. That's from a chieftain, Junaid. And then NNPC cooperative members lament massive fraud. And Ogun PDP crisis deepens. Police charge leaders with contempt. And then still on the cover of Punch, Ethiopian Airlines move to take over Arik. Buhari, governors, others preach peace as Muslims mark Salah. And then still on the cover of Punch, we have a couple of photographs there. Abuja, Lagos, also Abuja, then Ogun. And then, of course, in Lagos, we're seeing the photograph of a gentleman.
A ram riding a bike there.
Well, the ram is not actually
the ram is the one in the front. So I think he's the one riding the bike.
Yeah. So they're all celebrating the festive season.
Yeah.
There.
We're moving to The Nation now. After wishing their readers an exciting holiday, the headline says, Buhari, no rest until we see Nigeria of our dream. Petrol prices to fall, says Kachiku. And regarding the Houston flood, more fires expected. You can read about that on page 44. 18 Ondo commissioners get portfolios. You can read about that on page 40. And Ibadan, 21 Obas, people will praise Ajimobi. You can read a bit more about that in The Nation. But I think that's it on the headlines on the papers for today. And the newspaper headlines are proudly supported by Dettol. Be 100%.
All right, so let's get straight to the day's tutorials doing it yourself. on making fascinators.
Okay, you know, a fascinator is a headpiece. It is usually a large decorative design attached to a band or clip. It could be worn instead of a hat on occasions where hats would be normally worn. I have here with me Mary Atura.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
Oh, well, I'm doing well. So you're going to be showing us steps of making your own fascinator to suit your personality.
Yes.
I love yours.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I'm going to switch with yours. So, what do we do?
Yes, so we're trying to make a simple fascinator.
Okay.
The one you're wearing, it has a cap. So we're going to make something that is more or less called the hairpiece, because it doesn't have a base. So we're going to make use of straw, and you know, some floral pieces. These are flowers. Okay. We're going to assemble it just to get it simple. These are rhinestones.
Rhinestones.
Yeah. While these is half pearl beads. So we can use them to decorate our fascinators. You can always use feathers as well, but for the purpose of this tutorial, we're going to use more of beads. So now I'm going to create some kind of loops with this so that we can get something that's dramatic. Okay. So I'll start by...
That's a bow already.
Yes, we're getting something like a bow. If you look at it very well, it looks like the number 8. So if we now bunch up a whole lot of number 8s together, we'll get something very beautiful and interesting.
Numbers are important.
Say that again. Okay. And I'll do this here.
Okay. So you're going to be sewing
Yes, I'm going to be sewing.
Okay. Oh, you're going to use everything?
Yeah, well, I don't have to, but I'll just look at it. If it gives me what I want, I'll stop where I'm satisfied with the design.
Why are you leaving this one out?
I'll still cut it out. I want to be sure that I'm getting a very beautiful aesthetic.
Okay. Wow, looks really interesting.
So
we have a lot of number 8s.
Yes.
Know your numbers literally.
So, okay, I'll just tack it so that if I need to add more loops.
Okay.
I'll go ahead with it. Okay, so you use your normal needle and thread. Excuse me.
Of course, you have to go with the same
I think
color.
I have to start with a smaller.
Is it possible to do it separately and then try to join them?
It is, but I'll have to start with a smaller quantity so that our needle can go through.
Oh, I'll leave you to do it.
Okay.
She's going to have a good laugh at me when I'm done with this. I could have sworn I know my numbers very well. Okay. Let's see now. I may be getting the hang of this. Okay, this doesn't look like yours.
No, you're doing very well.
Are you serious?
You are, really.
Fantastic.
It's very forgivable. That's the thing about straw.
Forgivable doesn't quite cut it, you know?
It does, honey.
Okay. I'm trying to look at yours. Aha. Okay. See? She says it's forgivable, but I think I did well. So
yes,
can you make out the 8s?
So basically, we're just going to hold this down.
Okay.
You know, and then when we're through, we'll cover it up with some roses.
Roses?
Yes.
Okay. You're still going to add this one?
When I'm done, I'll look at it and see if it's necessary. If not, we can just work with it. The important thing is knowing. The important thing is knowing, you know, the basic, how it's done. Okay. You know. Okay, I think I'm okay with this. I'll just tack this. I need some light here.
Okay. Is it on? Is it on? It's not. I don't think it's on.
Okay.
What would you have used that for? Glue?
Yes, this is actually a hot melt glue.
Okay.
Yeah, so we need to make use of that.
In place of this, for people who don't have this,
yeah,
what do you use?
Well, we can always make use of, this is another kind of glue. but
in place of that?
In place of that, in most cases. But because the material we're working with is a harder material, is straw. Oh. So we need something that would glue and secure it very well. That's why we make use of the candle glue.
What did you call it?
It's a candle glue.
Candle glue.
Candle wax. Sorry, it's a hot melt glue.
Hot melt glue.
Yes, but locally it's called the candle glue. That's if you want to source for it in the market. Okay. It's called the candle glue. So
in the absence of that.
In the absence of that, so I'll make use of this.
At least we know we have an option.
Yes, yes. So I'll make use of this. The idea is to attach our flowers.
Okay.
Okay, can I hold this for me?
Sure. Let me put this down.
So we'll have our flowers here. And then the second one.
Okay. You put the glue, then put the flowers.
Yes.
Okay. I can't wait to see how this looks eventually.
So it's a simple one actually. So
did you make this yourself or you bought it like that?
No, you just buy them.
Okay.
You can source them locally in the local market.
And they're not expensive, are they?
No, they're not at all. Not at all.
This straw on average costs how much?
Well, you can buy them in a yard.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps normally I get them in rolls, but if you're going to buy it in a yard, you can get it like 400 per yard. Yes.
Interesting. And
could you hold this?
Different sizes, obviously.
Yes, they're different sizes.
Okay. Just look, it's coming out nicely, isn't it? I can't wait to see what this looks like eventually.
Okay. The reason why I have to do this is because to secure. Yes, because our glue is not, it's not holding it as well as we want it, because it's not the kind of glue we'd use, but this can serve. So instead of leaving it that way, we'll stitch it up, to make it stronger.
These are things you get taught at school and you just take them for granted.
Yeah.
Goodness. Okay. So we're just going to sew that on nicely.
Sew that through.
While you're doing that, I'm very interested in this. It looks beautiful. Does it go through the same process?
No, this is actually a turban.
Okay.
Yes, that one is sewn with a machine, with a sewing machine.
Everything?
Yes. This is the only part that gets decorated and attached to it. But the major bulk of the turban is sewn with a machine, just to get that nice finish.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I still have Mary here. Mary is very busy doing some sewing and gluing and all. It's good to know that there's an option. If you don't have the
candle wax, hot melt glue.
The hot melt glue. It's good to know that you can use regular glue. But you should be ready to do some extra sewing.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
So when you're sewing, you have to hide your thread. The petals are bold enough so they would hide the thread where we're, attaching, where we're putting in our needle and sewing through. So once you're done, the petals are going to hide the thread.
How long did it take you to learn this?
Well, it's a craft that takes, you can learn basic fascinator making within a week or 2 weeks. 2 weeks is even more than enough, because why I say 2 weeks is if you want to learn things like hatinators. Hatinators are bigger than fascinators.
Hatinators?
Yes, hatinators.
Okay.
They're not as big as a hat, but they're bigger than fascinators. So instead of calling them a hat, you call them a hatinator.
Yours is called a fascinator?
Yes, it's called a fascinator.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're done. So
do we get to our this ones?
That's what we should do, but
if we had that.
If we had this.
Okay.
So what we can do, we can just go ahead and then we'll, attach our headbands to this.
Looks really nice. Take a look at this. Oh, well, thank you so much, Mary. This is beautiful. I can't wait to see the entire end result. Well, let's find out what movies are showing in the cinemas this weekend from Mike.
Okay, I don't know. Which of the Marys would you prefer? Thank you very much, Mary Squared. All right, hi there. Now, as we usually do, I will kickstart your weekend with movies you can check out in the cinema. And incidentally, it's also a public holiday weekend. Now, it's going to extend till Monday, so hey, you have no reason not to catch one of these movies, okay? So, our first look today is Lady Macbeth. Now, it's set in rural England in 1865. It tells the story of Catherine, who is stifled by her loveless marriage to a bitter man twice her age. Her family, or the family of the man, is cold and unforgiving. Now she embarks on a passionate affair with a young worker on her husband's estate. A force is then unleashed inside her. It is so powerful that she will stop at nothing to get what she wants. The movie was directed by William Oldroyd and stars Florence Pugh, Cosmo Jarvis, and Paul Hilton.
It is not good to be without company for too long, I think.
Are you lost?
Perhaps a little more time spent indoors will do.
Do you love me?
Of course.
We did it so that we could be together here.
You did it for us.
We did it.
All right, another movie you should check out this weekend is American Made. It depicts Barry Seal, a TWA pilot who is recruited by the CIA to provide reconnaissance on the burgeoning communist threat in Central America. Now, he finds himself in charge of one of the biggest covert CIA operations in the history of the United States. The operation spawns the birth of the Medellin cartel and almost brings down the Reagan White House. It was directed by Doug Liman and stars the heavyweight himself, Tom Cruise, Sarah Wright, and Domhnall Gleeson, amongst others.
Show me.
Top of your class in the Civil Air Patrol. A pilot like you shouldn't be flying buses.
Welcome to Miami. Welcome to Bakersfield.
Bollywood is up next with a gentleman, and Gaurav is on a mission to settle down. He's in the process of trying to charm Kavya into creating a life with him and getting married. However, Kavya dreads the thought of taking the plunge and settling down. Her only wish is that her Sunda Shosil, which is like a gentleman, Indian way of saying gentleman, lives life to the full. Now with a little more risk and its excitement. However, things take an interesting twist when an assignment takes Gaurav to Mumbai. The movie was directed by Krishna DK and Raj Nidimoro. It stars Siddharth Malhotra, Jacqueline Fernandez, and Darshan Kumar, amongst others.
I'm Gaurav. I just bought this house. Yes?
You Rishi?
Sorry, Rishi kaun?
Wow, now that's something, be a gentleman. All right, so I'm excited because up next is something quite interesting, as this is not a movie but a series that will be premiering in select cinemas across the world and also in Nigeria for the first time. It's Marvel's Inhumans. It tells the story of an isolated community of superhumans who are fighting to protect themselves. Now, it's a spin-off from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., if you remember that series, directed by Tony Leondis, and it stars the voice talents of T.J. Miller, James Corden, and Anna Faris.
Are we supposed to follow our king and remain as silent as he is? Are you going to use your voice to kill your only brother? Stop it!
Okay, I have some very excited people in the studio concerning that particular series, all right? So, up next, we'll have Tayo Aluko, an actor on the couch, joining Yomi and Titi right after this commercial break. It's still Wake Up Nigeria.